Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's video we are going to be painting something for Christmas. So if you don't have your Christmas decorations up, you can paint this wonderful ornament painting with me. So come along and let's start painting. So hi everyone and welcome back to Kim Ellis Creates. If this is your first time here, I'm Kim Ellis. I'm a children's book author, illustrator, and creator. Today we're going to embrace the holiday spirit by painting this festive Christmas ornament painting. These make great gifts or decor for your home, and they're so much fun to create. So grab your brushes and let's get started. For this one, I started out and I went ahead and I painted the canvas. I put some streaks in there, and in this original painting that I have, I made it a gray background, but I kind of wanted to lighten it up with some of this blue. And then just to make the ornaments, it's super easy, and I'm going to show you with my candle that I can go ahead and use that as a template, which I've already done with this first one, but I can go ahead and use my candle and just trace around it. Not burn myself in the process. So I'm going to go ahead and make that third one over here, and I'm going to stagger them a little bit so they're not exactly straight. And you can use a ruler if you need to. You can also use really anything that you have that's got a straight edge. So I'm actually going to use this since I have this here. And I'm going to make the lines straight up and down so that I know where they're going to be. It helps me out a little bit. One thing I forgot is I'm going to have these little top, and you can make them as big or as small as you want. Just the very top. Kind of like a little can sitting up on top of our ornament. I basically started out with my acrylic paints, and mine are kind of messy right now. If you guys can see, I have my white, I have my yellow, I always have my red, my green, my blue, a little brown, and black. Well, we've sketched out the ornaments, and I'm going to lay down the base coat. I'm going to start out with this ornament here, and like I said, I always have lots of different brushes. So I have, these are called round brushes here. I have these easels, and I have these little easels from, they're Overbee easels from Jerry's Artorama, and in my next video I'm going to share with you some wonderful gift ideas for Christmas or for any time of the year for artists. Don't be stressed out by the fact that this is a perfect circle, because yours doesn't have to be exactly perfectly circular. One thing that I do sometimes too is I'll take it out of the easel and I'll put it down flat, or I'll just hold it. Whatever way that you have the most control over the brush is whatever helps you. So a lot of times I will paint like this out of the easel and then just put it on for details. So I'm just going to leave that just as it is for now. I'm going to mix up some lighter paint, just a little bit of red and white. And I don't want it to read too pinky. I still want it to read red. So just adding a little bit in there. And I can go over it again and lighten up the middle. And I always say the magic with blending is in water. So I can just take, a lot of times I'll have another brush, dip it in the water, dry it off just a little bit, and blend it. Now for me, a lot of times I'll go over something twice with the paint. I think this is covering it up pretty well, so I'll probably leave that. But again, I'm going to take this mixture, I'm going to add a little bit more white and go a little lighter. So I'm just going to keep doing that to get that circular look from my ball, my Christmas ball. And I can use a little water to blend it if I want to. But at this point, my paint is starting to dry a little bit, and so it's good because it's allowing it to blend the way that I like it. And you can always have brush strokes. Don't be afraid of brush strokes. I can get a little afraid of brush strokes sometimes. I don't know why. I want everything super smooth. That's me. Okay, so blending, blending, blending. And again, I can use my brush. That's just got a little bit of water on it. Blend it in. Blend it in. Sometimes I'm a double brusher, double brush in my hand. I don't have to keep cleaning a brush off. I have one that doesn't, this one is pretty clean. It basically just has a little water to blend, and this one actually has the pigment, the paint on there. Now you can take a little bit of your white and add a little highlight if you want to. And you can just leave that, you can blend it a little bit. And you might like the brush strokes in there, and you might not like the brush strokes, so just see what you like. Now you might want to just have just a big blob of white in there. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to let that dry. And the reason I want to let that dry is so that I can go over it with the other colors that I have. So as we're laying down the base color coats, I want to do that one first. I'm going to put some white in there. I have some of this aqua from the background. I don't want it too dark. Making that almost white, like I said. That's pretty. Add some more to that and make that blend. Again, like I said, this is such a great activity. If you don't know what to do with your family, go get some canvases for the holidays. And I'm filming this for you early so you guys have some time to make this and then maybe put it up in your house. You can have it as a decoration or give it as a gift. Like I said, these make great gifts. This is probably a really fun one to do. Again, not just with family, but with little people. I had a friend ask for painting tutorials for little people, and honestly, I think, and by little, I mean really little. I had one paint party with, it was 10 4-year-olds. For a birthday party. And of course, all the moms and dads were standing directly behind the children, and as soon as they were done painting, everybody grabbed their child and washed their hands. But you would be surprised at how well the 4-year-olds did with painting. So little people can do this painting as well. Now, if you're really good about letting a child go and not being a perfectionist, it's not going to look exactly like this. Or maybe if it does, let me know. That's amazing. But if they're going to have their own spin on it. So this one is a fun one for them to do. All they have to do, again, is paint the background, use something circular, like a candle, maybe not a lit candle for them. Okay, so last one is going to be this aqua one. And I'm going to take my blue, and I'm going to take my green, and I want to paint the whole thing just so that it's painted. Before I get to doing the ornaments themselves, I'm going to do the little tops. And just to show you, these are made out of gray. So I have my mid-range gray, I have a darker gray, and then I have the little pop of white there. So, and that's simple. And again, I'm going to use the gray to make the little ornament hangers. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that on the top. So I have my little ornaments, ornament topper, whatever those things are called, on the top. And then I'm going to use a darker, I'm going to I'll need a little bit of black. And so again, it's not black, it's like a darker gray that I've mixed up. And I'm going to bring it in on this side. Okay, so a little bit of clean water, and that's the magic of blending. Okay, so now for the fun part. I'm going to use that icy white color, and I'm going to make a star. To make a star, I'm going to add, and make an up, across, right, another one, across that one, and across that one. Alright, so I'm going to do that several times over my ornament. And this is actually, I find this the most relaxing part when you're getting into all these wonderful details. Now, if this freaks you out, you can always use a paint pen. But, and I was going somewhere with my idea, that I was talking about how most people, when they start off painting, they get kind of stressed. Even if they feel confident, sometimes they just start stressing because, oh my gosh, all these decisions, and I want to make it the right one. But the fun thing about it is, usually, and my paint parties are usually about 2 hours, usually by 30 minutes in, and definitely by an hour in, as people are painting, they're having fun. They've forgotten about the perfectionistic side at some point, and there's a bit of a hush in the room because everybody is concentrating. Everybody is just having fun, and they've forgotten about all of their stress. And they'll tell me that a lot of times at the end. They'll say, wow, this was such a stress reliever. I think you just get into your right side of your brain, which is not so concerned with numbers and perfection and everything being a certain way. It's just going with a flow. For me, as an artist, I always try to make sure that my desk, wherever I am, I try not to be positioned to the door or my back towards the door, because I can get startled pretty easily. Because when I'm in my zone, when I'm doing my art, guess what? I'm not paying attention to you, especially if I have my headphones on. And my family will come up and start saying something to me, and I will scream. I don't know if you're one of those people, but I will scream, and I don't do it on purpose, but I'm so in my zone that I just forget that I'm anywhere but right here with me. And I'm just going to do a bloop. You see the wonderful bloop? And it looks like a little gem in the middle, and that one kind of got big, but that's okay. They can be different sizes. Now, if you wanted to get really sparkly, you could get little rhinestones. I know they have those little rhinestone stickers. And you could literally put one in the middle. Or again, like I love the, and that one kind of got wild on me. I love the paint pens that are glittery. The ones that are gold and silver. And so that would be really pretty, because that would give a little bit of reflectiveness. Now the other option too is to use the other side of your paintbrush, and they also make these little tools. They're like a little silver ball on a stick, which make perfect circles. Okay, I love that. I like how that turned out. Now I want those swirls almost in that same color, so I'm going to get my blue, and I'm going to get my green, and maybe just a touch of white. Not too dark. I've mixed that color up, and I told you there's another way to do it. I have this little, I've had this palette knife since college. So he's been a friend for a long time, but you can use that, a palette knife, to mix. And I'm going to do a swirl. And they don't all have to go in the same direction. And one of my tricks is that if I do start one, I can always, like, I have trouble. I can do it this way, but this way for some reason is a little harder. So if I start it this way and I have trouble, I can always do a little bit halfway and then just meet in the middle. And again, are my swirls going to be perfect? No. They're going to be individually their own little pattern. We had a fundraiser at our church for helping out orphans who have HIV in a different country, and so I was able to give a bunch of my paintings that I just had lying around the house, because, you know, as I'm doing these tutorials I have extra paintings, and I was able to give those to our church to raise funds to help out these orphans. We raised $2,000 already. The numbers might have already gone up, so that's a really great way to use your talent or just your time to relax with painting to help other people. Doing lots of swirls. Looks like you can do lots of swirls, minimum amount of swirls. Maybe you're like, I can't stand swirls, Kim, what are you doing to me? You can just have stars on everyone. And if the stars don't work, I'm going to show you with the third ornament a whole different way to do things on that one. So if that's the favorite one, then do that technique. And I always tell people too, your plate is a good place to practice and see what you like. Maybe the swirls that I'm making are way too small and you want to make really big swirls, go for it. Don't be limited by what you see me doing. And I like to bring in colors from elsewhere. So again, I'm going to make some little dots. I'm going to use the red. I'm going to mix a little bit of that white in there. I don't want it too dark. And I'm just going to make dots. Now you can make, when I made dots, I didn't make them, they don't have to be a certain size. There's just variety. To have fun, kind of almost like berries, but maybe not all. Maybe just one here, one there. I know for me, a lot of inspiration comes from Pinterest. I love to look at Pinterest and see what's out there. And if there's some different patterns, you can always look for patterns on ornaments and see what you come up with. Share with us. I would love to see what you're doing. Now, to make this one, again, this one is a swirl. Now this is kind of like the paint dripping look. To do that, I'm going to have my color that I already made with blue and green. A little bit more blue in there. So that's my darker color. I'm going to just take that and bring a little white into that color. And I'm going to put down this color here. And how am I going to do it? I'm going to swirl it, which might be a little hard to see that first one. Let's make a couple of these swirls, but you'll definitely see it when I start getting into a lighter color like this. And again, the swirls don't have to be perfect. See how that, making some swirls in there. Swirl, swirl. I always want to make sounds on this. Why? I'm going to use not pure white, this lighter color here. And I'm going to use some white in there. Swirl it around. A little white that's mixed in with that light blue. A little bit of water to let it blend. And I'm going to come back with that dark color. And so this is fun. It doesn't have to be perfection, right? There's no pattern for this other than in my own mind of how these colors will blend. And they're just kind of a wave. And again, like I said, you can always take like another brush. You take this big brush and it could be filled with a little bit of water to blend things. So I'm going to come in with that medium color again. And the nice thing is I already have that background color there. Don't have to worry about that. I've already painted that and I'm just putting this on top. It's like marble, like a marbleization. That was the word I was trying to think of as I was talking earlier. Okay. I'm trying to talk louder for you guys because a lot of times I need a new microphone. It needed to be a Black Friday thing that hopefully I'll buy. I've been making this for you right before Thanksgiving. Anyway, I need to talk louder because I realize into my microphone I kind of mumble as I'm trying to paint, talk, concentrate all at the same time. So I think that looks good, but I also think that I need a little bit of that lighter blue in there. I have there. A little blue and a little green. I want more of that mid-tone that I don't have there yet. Actually, that's kind of cool. I like this green that I made with some white. You can see it adds a different color in there. And guess what? I'm making a fun mess, which is wonderful. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to take my blue and my green. So you guys can see that. A little bit more blue in there. There's just one smidge of white in there. I want to get a little bit more darkness in some of these spots. I have a little bit of difference between the stripes. You guys see there's not a pattern other than a swirliness. There's a little darkness, there's a little light, there's a little darkness. And for me, a bit of a perfectionist, I can sit here and do this probably for another 10 minutes or more. But at some point I just leave it alone and I'm done. I just bring some white on top of this. Have fun. And guess what? If you don't love it, what can you do? Come back over it with a little blendy brush. I like how this is looking, but I'm probably going to blend it a little bit with my big, gosh, what size is this? I always say this is my big 12. He's my big sturdy guy. Blending, but not too much. Right, now I'm going to mix up for this here, the branch. I'm going to mix up my green. I'm going to make my regular green. Always have my regular green. And then I'm going to have a darker green. And I'm going to mix that by using a little bit of green and a little bit of blue to make it darker. You can see how that creates a darker green. You can even add a little red, since red is the opposite, the complementary color of green. And then to make the lighter green, I'm going to take my green and take my yellow. And take my mid-tone green and just indicate where I want my branches to be. It's going to be here, come out here, a little bit that way, and that way. Okay, then I'm going to take my brush, and you can do it one of two ways. You can do it like I'm doing and fan it out, or you can come back this way. So if you're more comfortable this way, you can do it that way, or you can do it this way. And they don't have to be perfect as far as the same exact size, because they grow differently. Okay, so now I am going to make some stars. You guys can see the stars, and then also some dots to add for snow. In South Korea, the first snow is a magical time. It's a time of renewal It's also a time for romance, and a lot of times in the K-dramas you'll see that the first snow is a time when people fall in love. Okay, so that's our tutorial. How did your ornaments come out? I hope you love them. I hope they make your home truly festive. If you like this video, please feel free to like and share and send a comment. Let me know. Let me know what else you'd like me to paint, and I thank you so much for joining me each day. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.